புனிதனே நம சிவாய. ஓமெனும் எழுத்தும் உள்ளே ஒளியதால் விலகுகின்ற பாமனே கருணை நல்கும் வள்ளலே நம சிவாய. 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 அவ்வையும் பேச வண்ணம் அதிமையை கருத்தாற் கொள்ளும் தேவியே மணியே முத்தே தேவனே நம சிவாய. 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 அக்கினி குண்டு கொண்டு அரியவன் நீரு பூசம் சொக்கனே செக்கமேனி தூயனே நம சிவாய. 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 கம்பரால் களிரல் ஒருத்த காட்சியை கம்பா செம்பன் அம்பலத்துவாடுகின்ற அண்ணலே நம சிவாய. 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 பிறந்து முன்றும் நாயே உணவு தேடும் பகருணாய் என்ன தீர்க்கும் பரமனே நம சிவாய. 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 சக்தியும் சிவனும் ஆகி தானுமே ஜெகத்தும் எல்லாம் முத்தியாய் அளிப்பாயாதி முதல்வனே நம சிவாய. 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 யமனுடன் இன்றேறும் தாரணாகாரவேகம் சமானுர முதலாய் நின்று தானுவே நம சிவாய. 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 இரவியை கவளம் ஏந்தி ஏறும் உலகம் எல்லாம் தலவில் காண உள்ள சங்கராய் நம சிவாய. 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 இணங்கியை கவளம் போற்றால் இருவரும் ஏத்தி நின்றோ வானக அவளுக்கு ஆதும் வானவாய் நம சிவாய. வானவாய் நம சிவாய. வானவாய் நம சிவாய. வானவாய் நம சிவாய. வானவாய் நம அமர் முனிவே தன்னே சபாமுரத்தின் பாழேவம் ஆதரொரு அயல்மாகானா சங்கராய் நம சிவாய 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 ஓம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.
Thank you, Guru Govindan. Family, friends, we are going to be opening now for you to view the casket. I'm going to allow the people that are inside the premises to view first and thereafter take your seats. As soon as the seats are full, the rest of the people that will view, I would want you to come in around this way and walk out to my side and leave the yard. Thank you. It's open for viewing to people in the yard. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are finished with the viewing, I want to, at this juncture, pay a tribute that was sent to me from a very good friend of Clive. It is indeed a sad day today to say goodbye to a friend who made such a huge impact on me and all the people we knew. For the time I have known Clive, he displayed such strong discipline and integrity, as was always selfless in his character, and was always ever willing to assist and help anyone and everyone. If Clive came to know that you have a problem or function, he would always offer his help and services, even at his own cost and time. My last interaction with Clive was earlier this year when my niece's husband passed away due to COVID during our second wave. The situation was stressful and tense as people were all scared to even attend or officiate at funerals. But when Clive heard of my plight, he immediately offered his services, and subsequently he and Luke Joseph came fully kitted with PPE and officiated the funeral. This selfless act by both these gentlemen displayed their true commitment to the friends and the public at large. When I asked Clive how can he be so strong and not scared of this virus, he simply said to me, if it's my time, it will come, but for now it was his servant to assist all people who needed help. And how ironic it is, because sadly it is now become his time and has been taken too by this deadly virus. On behalf of the Department of Correctional Services, who Clive always assisted with programs for our youth in Chatsworth, and extend our condolences to his family. And on behalf of myself and my family, I want to extend our heartfelt condolences to Lisa and the family and all the friends of dear Clive. I know for a fact that his soul will rest in peace, because all of his blessings and prayers he will receive for all the seva he had performed. Goodbye, my friend, my colleague, my comrade and soldier. I thank you, Colonel Chris Gounden. Friends, these are just many of the tributes that you will be privy to this afternoon. If there's anyone else that hasn't viewed, we just have a few more minutes before we leave this place. So I'm asking you to please come in, view, and leave. Thank you. Friends, this afternoon, I want to call on a very dear friend of Clive. The association spans back to almost some 35 years. They've been together for a lot of time. They've also worked together in the police force. I'm going to call upon Craigie Gounden to say a few words at this juncture.
This has got to be one of my saddest days, to say goodbye to a very great friend and a brother. Clive Gounden was truly a person who gave credibility to the words, a friend indeed is a friend in need, and a friend in need is a friend indeed. I met Clive when he joined the South African Police Reserve Force in 1989. That shows the extent of our friendship. Clive approached me to teach him police work. And when I agreed, he started spending a lot of time in my company. From a colleague, it grew into a friendship. And that's how we became the best friends ever. He had a passion for helping people and was ever willing to go the extra mile. Even though he was a reserve policeman, which meant that the work that he did, he was not going to be paid for, he still had a passion in helping people and did that without any regard. There are a lot of incidents that can be quoted where Clive went the extra mile to help people whom he did not know. But one very, very important incident stands out in my memory. Because it was an incident that I experienced with Clive. It was some time ago when I was stranded in Chatsworth, when my car broke down. It was about 11:30 in the night. The first person that I could think of at that time was Clive. I phoned Clive and asked him if he could give me a lift to my house. At that time, I lived in Marigny. And I heard his famous words, "Don't worry, I'll be there in 5 minutes." And that was Clive's words. No matter who asked him for a favor or what kind of favor, his famous words were, "Don't worry, I'll be there in 5 minutes." And true to his words, Clive was there in practically 5 minutes. He then picked me up, and en route, I then realized that Clive had been working the whole day and almost the night, and he was on his way home when I called him. Despite the fact that he worked the whole day, he didn't go home, but came to help me, to convey me to my house. En route, right at the corner of Higginson Highway and Florence Nightingale Drive, an Indian male ran into the road screaming for help. And being the person that Clive was, he immediately stopped the car, jumped out and ran to this person's help. We asked him what had happened, and he pointed out 2 other Indian males who were armed with a slasher and a knife. Ran after these 2 Indian males. I followed him, and we chased after these 2 guys. Clive left his vehicle on the road, abandoned. And despite all of this, we managed to arrest one of the persons, the suspect. Brought him back to the vehicle, and Clive insisted that it was our duty to take him to the police station together with the complainant. All of this was happening around about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. We went to the police station, did the necessary, detained the person, and when we had finished, Clive then realized that the person, the complainant, had no transport to go home. He then decided to help this person, and we had to convey him to his house. Thereafter, he conveyed me to my house in Marigny and went home. this old situation took a lot of time. And it was only then that I realized that when Clive got home, it was time for him to go back to work, which meant that he was awake 24 hours. Incidents like this and many other incidents about Clive shows us the kind of person that he has, the passion that he has in order to go that extra mile in helping people. Clive was the type of person that people liked, loved, and respected. A wise man said that the best relationships are not made out of blood, but rather made out of love. To me, Clive was not just a good friend, but a brother from another mother. So to my brother, Clive, I wish you love, peace, happiness on your final journey to Godhead. And I am sure that someday we will meet again. Till now, God bless you, brother.
Thank you, Preggy. At this time, I want to call on a friend of the family, Carmen. She's known to Clive and has spent a lot of time with Lisa and Clive. So on behalf of all of their friends at this house, Carmen.
Good evening, everyone. It is with a heavy heart that I stand here before all of you today to speak on behalf of Auntie Lisa. My dear Clive, the time we had together in minutes were very short, but the time we had together in moments were immeasurable. We have made and enjoyed beautiful memories together. When we had met, you had found a new freedom, but it was you who taught me how to live freely. I thank God every day for bringing you into my life. You were an answered prayer. We molded each other into the perfect man and woman, and nothing in the world could ever replace you. From the kids of the Chetty family, thank you, Dad, for the endless love and laughter that you brought into our lives. Your words of encouragement, teachings, and values will live within us forever, and we will pass them down to the next generation with pride. Rest in peace, our angel, till we meet again.
Thank you, Carmen, for those warm words. I'm going to hand you over back to the dear mom, who will complete this first part of the ritual.
Para ஜோதி ஒன்றனை இரண்டனை ஒன்றனை எனவே அன்றனம் விளங்கிய அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி போற்றினும் பேரருள் போற்றினும் பேரும் சீர் ஆற்றனை ஓங்கிய அருள் பெரும் ஜோதி 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 தரத்திலே காயே வட்டே சங்கராய் போற்றி வனே விருத்தனே போற்றி எங்கள் விடலையே போற்றி ஒருத்தனே போற்றி உங்கள் தம்பிரான் போற்றி தில்லை திருத்தனே போற்றி எங்கள் நின்மலாய் போற்றி 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 ஓம் நம சிவாயா உயகனே மயகோகின்றே போற்றி ஓம் நம சிவாயா புகலிடம் பிறந்தோரில்லை போற்றி ஓம் நம சிவாயா புறமதி போகில் கண்டாய் போற்றி ஓம் நம சிவாயா சய சயாய் போற்றி 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 ஓம் புகழும் நிதி காலோடு வானாய் போற்றி உயரும் சுற்றும் ஆகரி போற்றி எல்லாம் இருக்கும்
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to the Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to perform the last prayer before we leave. I'm going to hand you over to Guru Kovilan, and then a group will be performing just as we're about to leave. So I would kindly and humbly request the driveway to be open, and people that are standing to either make your way into the yard to the vacant seats, or you could stand across the road to allow this driveway to be open for the guys that will be performing their act and leaving when the hearse will be about on its way. Thank you very much.
அமரர்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம், நமஸ்தே, நமஸ்காரம், Om Sai Ram. On behalf of the management of Fine Town Funeral Parlour, the Marinial Funeral Services Rajpatha, myself, Guru Kovil and Naidu, our sincere condolences to the Gounden family. Today it's not an easy task doing this final send-off, as Clive has been a friend of mine for the past few years. I will dearly miss Clive. Although I was his guru and teacher, Clive gave me a lot of knowledge with the things that he's learned over his years in life. Today, Amasaris, who was Clive's basically right-hand man, right-hand lady should I say, from her as well. She is deeply saddened by this loss, and she gives her condolences to the grieving family. At this time, I'll ask you to all put your palms together, bow your heads, and pray to the God of your understanding as we do the final send-off. Right, now. गणपति विघ्नेश्वरं शिवलिंग वरुणाद मंदिरवो शिव पेरुमानिन करुणि वेद मंत्रम अरुळ रामलिंग नमः शिवाय 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 नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः. Can we ask the immediate family to offer their roses? Om Tirusatrambalam. Siva Perumani, Siva Perumani, Yellar தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே 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 எல்லாருக்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே அன்னை தந்தை குரு தெய்வமே அன்னை தந்தை குரு தெய்வமே ஆண்டவனே நீ அருள் செய்வாயே ஆண்டவனே நீ அருள் செய்வாயே சிவபெருமானே சிவபெருமானே எல்லாருக்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே அம்மை அப்பா குரு தெய்வமே அம்மை அப்பா குரு தெய்வமே ஆண்டவனே நீ அருள் செய்வாயே ஆண்டவனே நீ அருள் செய்வாயே சிவபெருமானே சிவபெருமானே எல்லாருக்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே நமச்சிவாயமோ நீ தெய்வமே நமச்சிவாயமோ நீ தெய்வமே காதருவாய் நீ அருள் செய்வாயே காதருவாய் நீ அருள் செய்வாயே சிவபெருமானே சிவபெருமானே எல்லாருக்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே எல்லாருக்கும் நீ தெய்வம் சிவபெருமானே
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to leave. I just have a few directives for you to follow so that we don't clash as we leave the yard. The bhajan group is going to leave and be in front of the first vehicle that's parked. They will be performing from here to the end of the road. The vehicles will then leave, and then I would ask people from inside of the yard to go out once the hearse starts leaving, so we don't have a congestion. We want to maintain social distancing, and when you leave in the yard, I urge of you to please sanitize before you leave the yard and get to the next venue. Remember, we are on live stream. I don't want us to fall foul of any of the protocols that we are to adhere to. Thank you, Guru Kobilan. We're about to leave. Thank you.
Tirupati Vasa Venkateramana Goinda Goinda Govinda Goinda Goinda Govinda
Hari Hari Narayo Hari Narayuna Karunichi Mamelo Kamalelo Janara Hari Hari Narayo Hari Narayuna Karunichi Mamelo Kamalelo Janara Ayera Kolonao Ayelo na Swami Sandariya Matate Arokomaya
Kampa नरसिंह देवतार विघ्नेश्वर मगिलंड ब्रह्मंड नायकी रुद्रवास गुरुदेव निष्प्रवागणम शिव पेरुमानिये कडवसिं करुणी वेदमंत्रम पुष्पराज विघ्नेश्वरागणम समर्पयामगिं अरुट्परम ज्योति तनिपरम करुणी अरुट्परम ज्योति ओम Those who want to go with the family car, immediate family, please jump in. Yeah, yeah. Go more, go more. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Yeah, no, you just need to go a little bit more to the shade. Not as far as that. Right, right. Good. Okay, move it up a little bit.
Let's just try and compromise.
No, no, no.
It's okay, don't worry, darling. It's fine. We got this. See this camera. Huh? You just put it down there.
Okay.
Go in the front.
Did he said the table is coming.
Give it a few minutes.
Okay. All right.
brought emergency back.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to greet you this afternoon in the God of your understanding. Okay, under the situation that we're placed with, there will be no viewing of the casket. We have a small program in place. I would urge for you to be totally still or silent when the proceedings are taking place, to offer our dear beloved the respect that was accorded to him. At this very junction, I want to call upon a very dear friend of Clive. He's been associated with Clive for the period of over 25 years. During Clive's most difficult time, he's been there. Clive has shared with him lots of his personal issues in life. And this afternoon, with no disrespect to the Gounden or Governor family, there will be things done the way Clive has ordered them to be done. I'd rather tell you from the outset that Clive and I are the best of friends. We had a pact where he would do my funeral if I had passed on, and I would do his. Under difficult circumstances now, I'm placed at where I will be doing and following what he would have wanted. Clive embraced all religions. And having said that, there's music that was selected from his family, his daughter, some friends, that will go in line with Clive's belief patterns. Yes, by practice he was a Hindu. He carried his duties out as a guru. He was a humble father, a friend, a brother. So this afternoon we want to accord him the privileges that he had wanted, without having to disrespect any family member. At this juncture, when I call upon Dr. Jonathan Naidu, who will pass tribute on behalf of Miracle Tabernacle to Clive. Before Pastor Jonathan comes on, just an humble request. I would urge you to please maintain social distancing, even though we are in an open space. And if you're not from the same household, please stick to your house or familiar to your household. Please, no hugging, no kissing, no handshaking. There's sanitizers all around. If you need to use them, please use them. Thank you.
Before I pay tribute to a great man, I would want to firstly offer a prayer for Lisa and the family. So would you kindly stand as we pray for God's strength and comfort upon the family. Dear God, we acknowledge that you are the God of all comfort, the God of all mercy. You are the omnipotent, the omnipresent, and the omniscient God. We stand today under the canopy of heaven, under these very difficult circumstances, as we bid farewell to a precious friend, a loving husband, a caring father, a sibling, and a friend to all of us that are here today. God, we thank you that you have spared and given us Clive over these many years. We know that life is not determined by the number of years we live, but rather what worthwhile things we accomplish during those years. And truly, Lord, when we consider the impact of Clive's life, he has left a great legacy behind to his wife, his children, his family and friends. God, give Lisa and the children and the family comfort and strength during this time, O God, and help every one of us to so live our lives that today could be the very last. We ask your presence and your comfort now as we continue. I pray all of this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. Grace be with you all. Peace from God our Father and our Lord Jesus Christ. Today, I pay tribute not just to a great man, but a man of a great God. My association with Clive goes back to 1998 to 2010. This was the time, and I had provided counseling and ministry for about 17 years at the Westville prison. And I had visited Vivian, known as Joe, to Clive several times during that period. And every time I went there, I would speak into their lives, encourage them, reach out in practical ways. And when Clive came out, I must say to Lisa and the family, there was fruit of a transformed life. You know, I would always say to Clive that you are more Christian than most Christians. He always demonstrated outstanding qualities. And some of those qualities I want to mention briefly because there's so much to be said. He would say to me, Pastor, I will never forget those days when you would come and reach out to me. And if there's anything that I can do to be of help, please let me know. I remember the late Pastor Luke Joseph, who served the police force for many, many years, well over 30 years, considered Clive as one of the sons. There was a close bond and a family relationship with the Joseph family. And we met on several occasions. Always kind, caring, hospitable. And I remember, Lisa, in 2019 when I was ill and I had undergone a prostate operation. I will never forget that time when Clive sent a fruit arrangement and with some goodies in there, and this was delivered to my house. And my wife and I were so deeply moved and touched by that act of love, and kindness. You see, when you meet people, you may forget a lot of what they said, but how they made you feel is what impacts you for the rest of your life. And I'm sure that many of you in this audience will agree that Clive has impacted your life in so many practical ways. I remember Clive coming to my office at the AFM Miracle Tabernacle Church. He came in with a whole lot of PPE equipment. Mask and gloves and a shield. He said to me, "Pastor Jonathan, I want to bless you with this. I know you would need this for your church." And you see, Lisa, it's those incidents that you don't forget about. It actually just stays with you. And many times when we would have functions, Clive would be there. Actually, Clive was not a follower. Clive was a leader. I want to say to the children, your dad, John Maxwell says, leadership is influence. And wherever Clive went, he was a leader. He influenced positively. And, there is so much that can be said. And when Clive took ill, I connected with Lisa and we prayed. And you know what's really so moving today, Lisa, is that Clive was so particular about COVID regulations and laws. He did everything he can. But ultimately, God is sovereign. We cannot understand why things happen. But you know what? God is all love, God is all wise, and God is all sovereign. I have no doubt whatsoever that Clive is now at rest. No more pain, no more suffering, no more sickness. He is now at rest. He is now at peace. And I want to encourage you, Lisa, together with the children and the family, to continue in the legacy that Clive has left behind. And my prayer is that all of us will join hands together. It doesn't matter our religious differences and background. God is love, and we should be doing all we can to make a difference. And I want to close with this. You see, we will pass through this life but once. Any kind deed that we can show, we must do it now, because we will never pass this way again. God bless you all, and Lisa and the family, I want to assure you of our constant prayers and our support. Thank you very much. Vivian, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jonathan, for those moving words. Clive was somebody that would impact even the guy that stood at the robo and begged. So it was not a surprise to me when even on a hospital bed that he was able to impact the lives of the people that were attending to him. Incidentally, Clive was on the CPAP machine since he was admitted, and he only went onto the ventilator on Wednesday last week. So in all of the time that he was there, he was able to communicate. He was well aware of his surroundings. He was able to exchange in a conversation via your WhatsApp video calls. And I was privy to the doctor that treated him, Dr. Natasha Kaladin, a very renowned physician at St. Augustine's Hospital. And when I messaged her directly after Clive's passing, in having to just associate with Clive a few weeks and on a hospital bed, this is her comment. Vivian, Clive was a gentleman and fought a very good fight until the end. He was strong and resilient, but his body had taken enough stress. Now, can you imagine a doctor who's never had the opportunity of meeting Clive like we all did, whether at a social gathering, whether at an interaction of a function, but from a hospital bed, she classed Clive as a gentleman, a man that was resilient towards his fight to beat COVID. To those of you who grew up with him, to those of you who had the privilege of associating with Clive, to those of you who knew Clive, I hope this doctor's message rings home hard and it gives you a wake-up call that Clive is the man. Clive is my brother. Clive is your brother. In having to say that, and to show you that Clive, and in this life, no matter what we go through, and how we disenfranchise ourselves from people, we will still maintain a relationship because of who we are. And that is who Clive is. And our next speaker is the sister of Clive's ex-wife. A relationship still maintained up until now. That alone tells you the caliber, the character of Clive Gounden. Ladies and gentlemen, I call on Kathy, the sister of Philoshni.
I greet you all in the precious name of Jesus. It gives me great pleasure to speak about Clive Gounden on behalf of the Pallay family. Clive entered the Pallay household in 1986 and since then has played a pivotal role in our lives. He was dearly adored and loved by my late dad, Krish Pallay, well known as Cakes. My mom since then took him as her own son and loved him immensely. Clive was someone that always knew how to make people laugh. He always had a trick up his sleeve. He was a humble soul and well respected in the community, and everywhere he went, he wanted to be known. He was always neatly attired and was a strong disciplinarian. To Kaylin, always know that your father loved you, but showed it in ways you may not have understood because of the disciplinarian he was. To him, he wanted you to be his soldier boy, a strong, brave, courageous young man who can withstand any challenge. Shani, on the other hand, was a spoiled little girl, and he always had a soft spot for you. Mally and Micah, remember Grandpa will always love you guys. To Kaylin and Shani, your dad has left behind a legacy for you to follow. I know that you will always make him proud. The Bible teaches us in the book of Proverbs, train up your child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Clive, you have fought the good fight, and have finished your race, and have kept the faith. Good night, Clive. Rest well till we meet again. To Lisa, thank you for the love and support that you have showed Clive, Shani, Kaylin, Stellan, Mally, and Micah. We really appreciate you. May God bless you.
Thank you, Kathy. Before I continue with the next speaker, I want to acknowledge people, persons that are here, whose Clive have been affiliated and associated with over the years. We have members from the municipality. This is from the very inception that Clive had started his working career. We have friends of Clive that are from the South African Police Services. We have friends of Clive's that are from SBV. We have friends of Clive's that are from Rubber Engineering, the company that Clive last worked for. Whilst on the note of the South African Police Services, I'm humbled and privileged to have with us the head of KZN's presidential guarding, Colonel Bullet, as is commonly known to Clive. And when I messaged him and said, Colonel, this is the end of our brother's road, his message to me was, I will be there, make no mistake. His exact words were, Clive is my bra. In December, when his mother-in-law took ill and passed on, and a few weeks later, his mother passed on, and then his two sisters passed on. In one household, 4 people. Clive was there with me. He said he saw to everything. I will not miss the opportunity of being at his funeral. Friends, if you heard Dr. Jonathan said, Clive maintained all of the rules of COVID. And he was able to assist anyone and everyone. The moment you said it was a COVID funeral, Clive was there to assist you. Because he knew the fear that was instilled in the public's domain. He knew that people were reading a bit too much and taking sometimes false messages across. And so he stepped up and he assisted all of those people during those times. Thank you, Colonel, for being here. At this time, I'm privileged to have Nanda Modli. He is the Director of Rubber Engineering, the last company that Clive worked for, and a very, very good friend and associate of Clive. Nanda Modli, are you around, sir?
I address you all on behalf of the management and staff of Rubber Engineering. Exactly 10 years ago, I received the most beautiful and God-sent gift, and that was to meet Clive. How little did I know that this gift was so short, and it will only last me for 10 years. Clive was introduced to me by my dear friend Raja, who is currently very sick in hospital as well, also with COVID. At that time, Clive requested for a job and mentioned to me and said, Nanda, nobody wants to employ me. That's because I came from the Correctional Services. At this moment, Clive and I clicked. I gave him an opportunity to become the company driver. And very soon, Clive excelled in this. And thereafter, we gave him a position to be in charge of the safety in the factory. And once again, Clive excelled. Thereafter, we promoted Clive to be in charge in the sales and marketing for the company. Clive was a shining star and was loved by all customers. He excelled in the task given to him. No job was too big for Clive. Knowing him for 10 years was almost like a lifetime, and truly a blessing to me, my staff, my customers, and to my family and friends. Clive very quickly gained trust and became a family member by assisting in all our family weddings, parties, funerals, prayer, functions, staff functions, and many others. If you needed a contact in any department, you got to ask Clive. He knew them all, from the politicians, the people in the Navy, the police, the directors and CEOs, the lawyers, advocates, and the list goes on. I mention this because he helped my staff and family members on different and dangerous situations. He was a brave and courageous man, and Clive feared nothing. In conclusion, I will miss my Pallbearer. It's a loss to earth, but most certainly a gain in heaven. God has a better plan for you, Clive. Lisa, family and the friends, may God grant you strength during this very difficult time. From the management and staff of Rubber Engineering.
The song was sent by Chanel, knowing that she would not be able to take this mic and stand here in front of you. Listen to it. It's the daughter's love for her father. Thank you, Chanel. I understand the pain you're going through all too well. You know, sometimes they say when you don't have the words to say anything, your silence can tell a story. And today, in Chanel's silence, I know that she is clearly, I hope she makes peace with this. I said to you at the very outset that Clive was very versatile, and the songs that he had selected, both him and I, it's this that he would have played for me, or I would have played for him. So today, it's my turn to play for him. this time, it's been a difficult journey for the Gounden and Governor family, but I'm grateful and I'm thankful for the family member that has always stood by with Clive, and Clive has had a lot of respect for this family member. In fact, through Clive, I have had the opportunity of meeting with almost all of the Goundens and all of the governors, both his mum's side of the family and his dad's side. And at every function, I would not leave until I have a word with one of these elders in the family. And I'm privileged to have met some of them. Today I want to offer the opportunity to Uncle Bobby. It's difficult. My condolences to you and on behalf of the Governor family. I know Clive loved you very, very much. And he was, in his absence of not performing his last rites at his mum's funeral, it must have been the most heartbreaking thing for Clive had he had known that his mum passed on. Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Bobby.
Respected elders, master of ceremonies, officiating priest, honored guests, family and friends, my humble vanakkam, namaste, namaskar, sairam, and greetings to one and every present here today. At the outset, I would like to read a message received from one of his cousins, Vaski, who was close to him and now lives in London, and I quote, "Clive was larger than life and a man who towered over his cousins, and as we grew up, he remained so. He was a special man, a gentle giant, yet a fearless being, gone way too soon, but definitely not before making his mark in society. That takes talent, and my cousin Clive certainly had that in bucket loads." Last week on their birthdays, we remembered our other two cousins, Pam and Seelan, also gone too soon, and now Clive, who blessed us all, young and old, by being in our lives. They were special and three of the best and most generous and humble people I know. They always had a smile even during tough times, and to this day they inspire me and will continue to do so every day of my life. I hope they all live in all who were lucky enough to know them. I am blessed to have known you and to count you as my family. For all the love Clive showed us, may he be eternally blessed. Love you always and appreciate it forever, my dearest cousin. Sending love and strength to all the family and friends who are feeling this great loss." Unquote. Life is short, and such is life today, that I always thought Clive would talk at my funeral and not the other way around. Clive, a devoted son of the Gounden family, is no more. His untimely passing has left a large void in our lives, the community and society is served with such passion. As a family member, he was always there for you, and his famous mantra was, "I'm only a phone call away." He never shirked away from his responsibilities as a son, a father, grandfather and family member. Whenever a need arose, we needed someone, Clive would be the first one to be called. And on the rare occasion that he was not readily available, he would without fail get someone else to fill in. As a follow-up, he would then call or pay us a visit. As a friend, you could not wish for a better person than Clive. He was a true friend in the real sense of the word. Unfailingly, he would stand with you. One could go to war with Clive, and if I were to go to war, Clive would be the first one in my team. Such was the man's commitment. In spite of the challenges he faced in his life, Clive rose from the ashes of dejection, despair, and despondency to remold and reinvigorate his life. And with great enthusiasm and vigor, he conquered and immersed himself in society and the community he served with great passion. Due to his hesitancy in taking the vaccine, unfortunately and sadly, Clive lost the last battle. His passing will not be in vain, as I would like to take this opportunity to encourage and urge those not to be vaccinated, who choose not to be vaccinated, to please vaccinate. Taking the vaccination should be considered an investment in your health. A recent research by Discovery suggests that people who have been vaccinated are 3 times less likely to get infected others, 4 times less likely to end up in ICU or healthcare, and 10 times less likely to die compared to unvaccinated individuals. Further, it has been scientifically proven with substantiated evidence that vaccines against COVID-19 are indeed safe, or at least safe as other registered medications on the market. Vaccines have been proven to be effective and at this juncture are only available and viable countermeasure. Further, going to the Western Cape, 30% of its adult population have been vaccinated to date. As of September 6th, Groote Hospital has admitted 156 COVID-19 patients, of whom only 3 patients had been vaccinated. All 66 patients in ICU and 33 patients on ventilators were unvaccinated. Even though the number of infections has increased, the number of hospitalized patients and the death rate has materially decreased. Dear ones, the choice is all yours. But remember, choice comes with responsibility and consequences. So I urge you to please reconsider your choices carefully and get vaccinated to protect yourself and to protect those you love. In conclusion, I would like to thank the several members, friends, neighbors, family members, work colleagues, just about everybody who rallied round the family during their hour of grief. It's been almost 2 weeks or more, if you include the hospital, that the family went through some trying and testing times. But your support and help has helped all of us survive this sad ordeal. Nandri, thank you, take care, stay safe.
Thank you, Uncle Bobby. You know, Clive could never understand the word no. And when somebody has to tell Clive no to him, he took it very seriously. To the point that in 2008, when we both sat together and someone said no to us, I shrugged my shoulders. I said to Clive, we give it another shot. Clive said, Joe, that's your call, bro. But this is mine to you. It's 2008. It was a song that Clive sang to. He didn't play it for me. Let me tell you this. He didn't play it for me. Clive sang the song to me and to Willa, his counselor, when we were turned down the first time on parole. And I said to Clive, you can't give up now. I didn't come this far to give up. And he said to me, Joe, nobody has ever said no to me. And if Willa is here, you'll understand today the intensity of the song. But in 2010, when he came home, and the next 11 years after that, a whole new chapter was written. Clive's motto was always, go big or you go home. And today, amidst the COVID, the families have tried to give Clive a brilliant send-off. The situation is such that we can't do what we would have wanted to do. But thank you to all of you that have rallied around this family and assisted to make sure that Clive gets a good send-off. I'm just going to give the last speaker just around 2 minutes. He's Samir, a very close friend of Clive as well. He did speak at the mum's funeral. So I'm just going to give him the last 2 minutes, and then I'm going to be concluding. But those of you who want to pay your last respects, there is a photograph that's there because we would not be opening. And I would like, if you would want to come and take a few of the petals in line with your ritual, you could turn around that photograph and on to the casket. It will be done now while Samir pays his tribute. Thank you.
Very good afternoon to the officiating priest, the bereaving family, elders, friends and relatives, also to the previous speakers who spoke so eloquently and with such love and humility and kind words spoken. I bring you greetings from those who are not here present, being my wife Rukeya, Mr. and Mrs. Lynn Chetty, former head of prison, Westville Medium B, Westville Correctional Center, Department of Correctional Services, Maulana Shabir Asmal from the Muslim Prison Board, KwaZulu-Natal, and also Wella Furi, Clive's mentor and counselor, and also Vanessa Joseph. I greet you all with the universal Islamic greeting of Assalamu alaikum, which simply means peace be upon you. Yes, this is indeed a very, very sad day for all of us, especially for myself, together with Vivian Joseph. And the reason for that is I have got into contact with Clive and Joe from the year 2008, whereby I met them at the correctional facility, Medium C, with them already having completed almost 10 years of their sentence at Westville Medium B, and I was 2 years into a sentence at Westville Medium C. Clive and Joe must most definitely be recognized for the extreme and wonderful work that they've done within the Department of Correctional Services, especially by spearheading the AIDS project. When they came to, and they were involved in many other aspects of all programs within the Correctional Center. When they arrived at Medium C, they met me, one of the first people to have met with them, and by then I had already belonged to almost every program or every sporting code or every cultural code or educational code within the center. Medium C is a correctional facility that prepares you to go home. So I said to both Clive and Joe, you guys have done enough, it's time for you all to relax now. So they very lovingly said to me, Samir, you don't worry, you carry on doing what you do and we've got your back. So much so that I used to leave the center in the morning in a white shirt, orange pants, carry my school books and go into teaching at ABET school, which we formed. But every day at 11 o'clock, we all get back to our stations to receive our 5 slices of bread, which will carry us into supper, and supper will be served at about 4 o'clock. Not a day went by that I got up to my room and Clive was waiting there. Samir, your chow is ready. When I go into his room, there's always something made out of the ordinary. There was a studying art, and there's a knock on the door, and these two guys bombarded the room, and they literally took me off my seat, and everybody bewildered. What is going on? Said, no, Paulette, it's Samir's 40th birthday. Oh, okay, everybody, everything broke loose. Everyone started singing to me. And when I get into Clive's room, this guy miraculously made a whole big birthday cake using brown bread from the prison. And don't ask where this came from and that came from. There was cool drinks and various other things that makes up a birthday table. There's one unwritten law or rule that we lived by in prison, and that was, don't ask where it came from, just eat it. There was one day that Joe told me, Samir, what is it that you really feel like eating? And I said to him, Joe, if you had to put it to me that way, I want to eat a nice sheephead curry with lekker big potatoes, okay? So it's Saturday evening and we're all in a very somber mood, all thinking of home and our moms and sisters and everyone else. Sunday morning we get up, I'm on my bed making my du'as and my prayer. Joe gets dressed, he's sitting with his Bible. That's what we did every day. And then we both walk out the room together, take a right turn and another right turn. It's Clive's room. But as we came out the door, Joe reckoned to me, hey, Samir, what's that smell? I said, Joe, that's a sheephead chow boy. He says, hey, I wonder where it's coming from. We take another right turn and you wouldn't believe it. There's a pot of sheephead curry bubbling that's being cooked under Clive's bed. Really. Don't ask where the stove comes from. It's all make do. We take a spiral plate, connect 2 wires to it, put the wires into the plug point on the wall and push in 2 pencils. That's your stove. And it sits on a little empty tin fish can or baked beans can or whatever. So not a day went by that we never had good food from the prison with their own food. But being Indians, we converted that into whatever we wanted. But upon our return on the outside, I came out in 2009 having served 3.5 years. Clive followed me and then Joe followed. And I tell you what, we made a pact inside that, guys, I've got 4 other brothers. I've got 3 sisters. I'm the last born, so I'm well looked after. But I don't ever want y'all to forget me, please. I want y'all to be part of my family and become my brothers as we are here. Because we had many a good times on the outside. The time you really know your friends, as you'll see on any wall, when days are dark, friends are few. Trust me, we know the meaning of that. So we left millionaire friends outside who never visited us. But we were inside there in the darkest of tunnels, Joe, and with no light inside. They always say there's a shining light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me, I really don't believe in that. I know it's words of comfort and encouragement and motivation, but it really doesn't work for me because I've been in a dark tunnel where we knew there was no light. But the light that I saw was in Joe. The light that I saw for me every morning was in Clive. And I'd like to think that I was the light that they saw as well. Clive was not a religious person, but a very spiritual person. Muslim prison board, Maulana loved him. The imams visiting us loved him. The pastors visiting the boys loved him. The Hindu priests visiting loved him. The Shembe priests loved him. So Clive, yes, we are heartbroken, my brother. We are heartbroken to the extent where we thought you'd come out of this. And Uncle Bobby so lovingly said, If he had to go to war, you will be on his team first. If I had to go to war, Clive and Joe will be there for me. And I know they wouldn't put me in the front. I will not be the command captain. They will put me behind them. There's many stories to say and to tell, but in closing, I'd like to give Lisa and the family, the children, there's so many, I won't mention everyone by name, but as recent as 2 weeks ago, we laid Mum to rest. We thought you'd be out here with us today, you know. But Clive and Joe and I are still here for you, my brother. We will make sure that all those gods that you respected, all those names that you picked in the prison and in your life outside, that they will be welcoming you with open arms. And just in closing, there was one day, Lotus FM played a song. It's a Tamil song that played on Lotus FM. And he looked at me and he said to me, "Hey Samir, hey, this number, I love this number." But he knew my background. Little does anyone else know, I come from a Hindu Tamil family. I'm the last born. I was very involved in bhajans and kavadis and everything that happened. I'm an astute musician as well. So I played in weddings, funerals and all that. I did all that. So he tells me, "Hey, I love this song, Samir." I went into the room that night and I wrote out the whole song. And I came back in the morning, I said, "Clive, here's it for you. Stick it on your wall. I'm going to teach you line by line." Right, game on. Gave it to him, I started teaching him the song. I promise you by the next morning I walked into the room, he held a copy and he sang the whole song of Kalaivani Nin Karuni Ten Malere. Little did I know, 10 years later, the man would be laying many people to rest. And I personally, trying to recap on our lives gone by, I think that was his calling, that he was able to play the part of Guru Clive Gounden. So with those few words, I'd like to just encourage the family to continue with the legacy he's leaving behind. Joe, to you as well, I know we will touch base later, but it's very heartbreaking for us. But we have to go on and run the race, my brother. I say with kindness and with all humility, Jazakallah so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Samir. I see a lot of guys that are here. I'm actually humbled by seeing the Navy uniform, in part, being worn by a colleague and friend of Clive's. Now that is how Clive would want to adorn himself if he goes somewhere, with the Navy beret. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Colin, for the guys that were with him in the last of his months before he passed on. Friends, I'll be failing if I don't give this gentleman his 2 minutes. Colonel, I know you've waited patiently, but thank you.
Family, friends, comrades, I greet you in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'll be failing if I do not say a few words on behalf of Clive, who was very dear to me. But my brother only knew Clive for about 3 years, and he was so taken about the way he carried himself that he wrote a little message to Lisa. But I just want to embark on a few words that he mentioned here. Clive and Lisa were the program directors for his birthday on the 3rd of August 2019, when my brother celebrated his 60th birthday. And this is what he had, and they from that day onwards, they formed a bond. And this is what he had to say about Clive. Since Clive did my birthday, a very special bond was formed, and I've called him on special occasions to thank him and compliment him. Additionally, speaking very proudly of his professionalism, competence, and diligence to many. And then he also goes on to say, you know, Clive was such a hero. He was a soldier. You know, Clive braved and serve the community, that he performed funerals amongst this pandemic that we are facing, risking his own life to give dignity to others. And he did it with a sterling job, outstanding job. He was so effective, efficient, professional, accountable in whatever he did. And you know, they had to make a film, a James Bond film. Clive was a man for all seasons. Truly, truly, truly. He reminds me so much. You know, when you talk about Moses, he was like our Moses now. When Aaron and Aaron lifted the hands of Moses, you know, so that they could win the war, he lifted the hands of many of us, encouraging us. But lastly, I want to say to you friends, this is for the Bible. He who is free of sin, cast the first stone. All of us are sinners, but we are changed, we have become better to people like him, who showed us the road, to give us confidence. To the family, I want to say, according to Isaiah 41:10, it says, do not be afraid, for I'm with you. Do not be discouraged, for I'm your God. I will help you, I will strengthen you, and lift you up with my victorious right hand. Thank you very much, Vivian, Luke, Joseph. Thank you. I will salute my friend. Come here.
Thank you, Colonel. You know, I wondered if that would have been the last thing that Clive would have went out with. And I want to say thank you. It was on behalf of all of us. Friends, we've come to the close of today. I want to thank Whitehall Funeral Services, the management, Christopher and his brother, for affording us a dignified funeral. To the speakers that have braved today, for your words, your kind words and sentiments that you shared with the family. To you that have come out here and stood with me for the last 1.5 hours, thank you. To those who have rallied around the family since Clive was in hospital, or should I say since their mum got admitted in hospital, I want to say thank you to you as well. You know, I said this at Clive's mum's funeral. She had 2 wishes. One was that Clive will come out of prison, and the other that he will do her funeral. God gave her one, and he would have the second. When Clive walked out and we used to sit and talk, he'd always say, when you do my funeral, you do it against all odds. As in, I respected Guru Gounden, I respected the rituals of Clive, but I had to incorporate what he and I had discussed. And having spoken to my pastor this morning as well, I said to him, be prepared to expect a different kind of funeral, because that is who Clive was. We didn't conform ourselves to the norms of society for the reasons that society will be there with you for as long as things are good. And when things get to turn the other way, you know who your true people are. And that people is society for us. The people that stand here today, that have braved not just COVID, but have come out in support of Clive Gounden, you are the society that we look at. To those who are on live stream, thank you for joining us. We're going to leave here. I think the regulations are 50 at the crematorium. So please, the rest of the family, if you would join Lisa or you would remain with the friends, God bless you, travel safe as we leave. The last song I played for Clive was when we came out and we used to listen to these songs, and Judy reminded me by sending it to me. I would have never wanted to play it, but I said, you know, because we've changed in so many ways. but understanding who Clive and I were and where he's come from. This is for you, Clive.
To the rest of the people that are standing here, it will be very unfair not to greet you with the name of the underworld. I cannot say much to you, but you know who you are, where you stand, and which position of the earth you are standing. So from the four corners of the world, we say salute and not Hazi. We are saying goodbye to our daddy. May God bless you all, and I'll be back. I'm Guru Clive Gounden. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. We will sing on that beautiful shore, the melodious songs of the blessed, and our spirits will sorrow no more. blessings that hallow our days. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore.
Clive was the eldest grandson of the Gounden family. He was a very energetic person and highly unique in his thinking. He was a very humble and caring person. He always stood tall and had a positive impact in the lives of others. He was a tower of strength to whoever needed support and comfort. We have lost an outstanding person, His untimely demise has left a huge void in our lives. I cannot begin to express how devastated we all are by his passing. I will always treasure our time spent together. You were brave, and most importantly, you had humbled yourself. Rest now, my brother. You will always be loved and forever cherished.
We greet you in the sweet and wonderful name of the Lord Jesus Christ. It is with a heavy heart that we have chosen to say a few words about Clive Gounden. My husband and I met Clive through my best friend Lisa. From that day, Clive was not just a friend, but a brother and family. He felt the exact same way about my family. Clive was one of those people that spoke his heart. He said it like it is, and at the same time, with no intention to harm or hurt anyone. We loved our socials together, but never saw much of him since he started coordinating COVID funerals. That's Clive. His love and dedication and compassion will be immensely missed. We definitely miss his great sense of humor, always addressing Lisa as the First Lady of Lotus FM. I also want to thank him for being I want to thank Lisa for being such a support to him. I know, my friend, you will miss him immensely, and there was never a dull moment when you were around others and him. Take comfort and know God knows all things. Clive, we love you, and may your soul rest in peace. God bless.
God bless you, my brother. God bless you, Lisa, and the family. Take courage and know that God is with you. And I pray that everything will go according to His plan. Bless you all, love you all, and take care.
Clive was the eldest grandson of the Gounden family. He was a very energetic, humble and caring person. He always stood tall and had a positive impact in the lives of others. He was a tower of strength to whoever needed support and comfort. We have lost an outstanding person. His untimely demise has left a huge void in our lives. I cannot begin to express how devastated we all are by his passing. I will always treasure our time spent together and the wonderful memories shared. Go well. You fought hard. You were brave. And most importantly, you had humbled yourself. Rest now, my brother. You will always be loved and forever cherished.
We greet you in the sweet and wonderful name of the Lord Jesus Christ. It is with a heavy heart that we have chosen to say a few words about Clive Gounden. My husband and I met Clive through my best friend Lisa. From that day, Clive was not just a friend, but a brother and family. He felt the exact same way about my family. Clive was one of those people that spoke his heart. He said it like it is, and at the same time, with no intention to harm or hurt anyone. We loved our socials together, but never saw much of him since he started coordinating COVID funerals. That's Clive. His love and dedication and compassion will be immensely missed. We definitely miss his great sense of humor, always addressing Lisa as the First Lady of Lotus FM. I also want to thank him for being I want to thank Lisa for being such a support to him. I know, my friend, you will miss him immensely, and there was never a dull moment when you were around others and him. Take comfort and know God knows all things. Clive, we love you, and may your soul rest in peace. God bless.
God bless you, my brother. God bless you, Lisa, and the family. Take courage and know that God is with you. And I pray that everything will go according to His plan. Bless you all, love you all, and take care.
Clive was the eldest grandson of the Gounden family. He was a very energetic person and highly unique in his thinking. He was a very humble and caring person. He always stood tall and had a positive impact in the lives of others. He was a tower of strength to whoever needed support and comfort. We have lost an outstanding person. His untimely demise has left a huge void in our lives. I cannot begin to express how devastated we all are by his passing. I will always treasure our time spent together and the wonderful memories shared. Go well. You fought hard. You were brave. And most importantly, you had humbled yourself. Rest now, my brother. You will always be loved and forever cherished.
We greet you in the sweet and wonderful name of the Lord Jesus Christ. It is with a heavy heart that we have chosen to say a few words about Clive Gounden. My husband and I met Clive through my best friend Lisa. From that day, Clive was not just a friend, but a brother and family. He felt the exact same way about my family. Clive was one of those people that spoke his heart. He said it like it is, and at the same time, with no intention to harm or hurt anyone. We loved our socials together, but never saw much of him since he started coordinating COVID funerals. That's Clive. His love and dedication and compassion will be immensely missed. We definitely miss his great sense of humor, always addressing Lisa as the First Lady of Lotus FM. I also want to thank him for being I want to thank Lisa for being such a support to him. I know, my friend, you will miss him immensely, and there was never a dull moment when you were around others and him. Take comfort and know God knows all things. Clive, we love you, and may your soul rest in peace. God bless.
God bless you, my brother. God bless you, Lisa and the family. Take courage and know that God is with you. And I pray that everything will go according to His plan. Bless you all, love you all, and take care.
Can you decide?
Very from it. I think this is probably not me. Yeah.
Fine. You can all go in.
We're doing that set now.
Just maintain that distance only. Roxy there. I don't know where that's going. Oh, there's one, the long one? The big one color. Yeah. I put it in charge.
Pallbearers, please. 3 on either side. Pallbearers, please.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Family, we are at the last and final part of today's ceremony. The Guru will be doing the final rites. You know, when I stand here and I think of the finality that one has to endure as a family, Clive, he always said, when you learn the heart of detachment, you reach another level of understanding that everything is in God's will. And to Lisa, to the kids, I'm sure that you would have heard him talk about detachment. And if you were wise to catch a grip of that, you would have lived your life every day knowing that that day could have been your last with Clive. And so when the day came on Sunday night that Clive had left us, it would have been no surprise to you. Yes, it would shock, it would keep us in a state of disbelief, we wouldn't want to accept, but that is what Clive would have wanted you to do and accept. And the quicker we accept that Clive has now gone on to be with his Creator and his Maker, to live the other part of his life in eternity, we will be able to go on with this journey untroubled. And so I want to say to Kaylin and Chanel, go on with what your dad has left you. The legacy that he leaves behind, the teachings that he has invoked in you, the life that he has shown you. It may have not all been if I may put it lavish, but he showed you the comfort of living. Run with that. To Lisa, thank you very much for what you've done for my friend, my brother, with affording him the last 11 years with everything that he wanted to do. There was no stopping. You've always encouraged him on. And whatever Clive said he wanted to do, I thank you for that. And that's the point where he wanted to fulfill his last wish of attaining and being a guru. That was his last seva. Thank you for allowing him to be that person to society. To Guru Commemorative, thank you very much for being there for Clive, for guiding him, for showing him this part of life that he always wanted. And in doing that, I know that his soul will rest in peace. Even though he didn't know of his mom's passing, I think he fares better than those who did know and did nothing. So as a son, yes, he may not have fulfilled his mother's last wish, but God in his all sovereignty, I think he fared well in taking Clive along with his mom, rather than to face this cruel world and all the events that are unfolding of recent. To every one of you, I wish you well. May the God of your understanding bless you. May the God of your understanding keep you. May He show you the way in truth. May He show you your ultimate destiny through divinity. I thank you and God bless you.
Once again, my humble vanakkams, namaste, namaskaram, and Om Sai Ram to one and all. I've got a tribute from the Dakshina Gurumar Association of South Africa, that is basically the union of Brahmins in South Africa. Clive was actually our PRO, and this is a message from Guru Haridas, Guru Hari as he is known. Vanakkam and sincere condolences to the Gounden family on the passing of Guru Clive Rubendran Gounden. I feel deeply saddened at his loss, which is a tremendous loss, not just to his family, but even more to the community of Durban and KZN, and especially to our Gurumar and Sangam. Clive served well and diligently as a PRO and performed his duties diligently. It is sad for me personally to say goodbye to a prodigy whom I personally mentored into performing rituals at funerals, etc. He played a pivotal role into bringing comfort into families and giving them the best send-off. He was a dedicated guru who went the extra mile in arranging and conducting final rites for loved ones who had passed on during this COVID-19 pandemic. He will be greatly missed by myself personally as an advisor to the Gurumar and Sangam, and somebody who had toured this country You will be sadly missed, Clive, and rest assured, Lisa and family, that I will always be there for each and every one of you. To Lisa and family, on behalf of my in-laws who are neighbors and have been friends with Lisa and her family for many, many years, but basically Hamad's entire family, our sincere condolences to each and every one of you on this great loss. I definitely will miss Clive a lot, tremendously, on his walks, every Sunday morning walking to my house. My wife knew the time Clive would come in for his black tea with no sugar. And I'll always remember him for the love that he gave me. There was never a dull moment with Clive. He was always there for me, be it I'm in trouble financially, whatever it is. Clive was just a call away. As our program director said, he was just 5 minutes away all the time. He would always say, give me 5 minutes and I'll be there. Clive, I want to say to you, my brother, I love you, and go well until we meet again. We discussed many times about detachment, but it's a very hard thing to say goodbye to you. And I'll always remember you and love you, my brother. Go well. At this time, I'll ask all of you to please rise. Please note that the Clare State Crematorium has strict COVID protocols. There will only be 5 immediate family members in the antechambers. I repeat that, only 5 immediate family members that will be allowed. And we all put our palms together, bow our heads and pray to the God of our understanding. I'll ask Amasaras to come up and join me as we do the final prayer. Om Sivalinga Varunada Mandir Om Namachivaya Sivalinga Varunada Mandir Om Devanin Karuniveda Mantram Kalan Sandaruni Tiruvappa Rubendran Clive Gounden Pallbearer Avaratma Unakkadivo Shanti 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 Sivaya Namaho Sivaya Namaho Om Namah Sivaya Sivaya Namaho Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya